Greetings to everybody. Welcome to all our members of the Heartfulness community. We are very happy to invite all of you to join us weekly so together we can understand the teachings of the great elders of the Heartfulness method who are trying to educate us in so many ways so we can truly evolve. That is the goal of the elders of the Heartfulness Institute, is to educate us, make this awareness possible, where our mind is a perfect tool and with the help of that tool we can utilize the power of the heart to feel the divinity. As our great revered Daji says, you can only concentrate on a thing that you know. You cannot concentrate on unknown. So you can't perceive divinity with the mind. So the entire journey of our heartfulness method is utilize the mind, which is an instrument, to help it dive into the heart's field, and thereby it can experience the ultimate divinity, which is none unknown, through the known presence of the guide's consciousness. We only know the presence of the guide's consciousness, through which we experience the unknown presence of the ultimate divinity. And for that, we have to have a guide who is in that state of being, the highest state of being. So, we have been exploring, trying to understand the concepts of the Patanjali Yoga Sutras in relationship with the heartfulness method. We all clearly know that, according to revered Babaji's teachings, that conscience is made up of mind, intellect, ego, and consciousness together. And only when all these four faculties are in a state of purity, our conscience, the true self, can give the true voice of divine. So, to really hear the divine voice of divinity, all these faculties have to be purified. And that is why we meditate. All our efforts of sadhana, of understanding, of becoming, is to bring our mind to that meditative state where we can perceive the presence, the divinity in the Guru's consciousness. So let us further understand together. Let me share my screen here. So we want to understand, in the words of sage Patanjali, the alternative ways or the attitudes that can help us arrive at a meditative state. Dhyanaja Chitta, a mind that has meditated, mastered, and arrived at the inner silence, which is capable of perceiving divinity. So, from the sutras, from Samadhipada, Sutra 33 to 39, Sage Patanjali says that unless and until we have the right attitudes, your mind will not come to the meditative state. This is a very powerful statement. I had to personally introspect a lot on this concept. So, until and unless we have these attitudes towards ourselves and the world and the others, the mind is not capable of coming to that meditative state. So, the four attitudes that we need to have with people, which is in Sutra 33, is the first method deals with meditation on four types of attitudes towards people. That includes friendliness or lovingness, compassion, the heart has to be compassionate or support, happiness or goodwill, without the heart being joyful, with a sad heart, you cannot come to a meditative state, and neutrality or acceptance. Without cheerful acceptance, you cannot arrive at this dhyanaja chitta, which is the meditative state. And five suggestions for focus is described in Sutra 34 to 38. And these specific suggestions of objects for focus of attention are given as breath awareness, sensation, being sensitive, being aware to this inner luminosity, and contemplation on a stable mind, and focusing on the stream of the mind, the state of remembrance. And lastly, the statement says, whatever you choose is in Sutra 39. You might practice one pointedness or whatever object you find pleasing and useful. But here in our heartfulness method, we begin with meditation on the divine presence, the divine light, which is the neutral way of diving deep. And when faith develops, because we have been associated with the Guru, observed the Guru, have felt the what the Guru has given to us, only when faith develops, the heart naturally chooses to meditate on the living guide's state of being, his conscience. So that conscience of the Guru is the perfect mind, intellect, consciousness, ego. So Sutra 34, Prachardhana Vidaranambhyam Vidaranabhyam Vah Pranayama. Meditation on holding the breath in after inhalation and out after exhalation also brings about Chitta Vritti Nirodha. In a very gentle way, Daji has asked us, if you are feeling some panic, close your right nostril, breathe through your left nostril. So your parasympathetic nervous system gets affected, you calm down. These are all gentle breathing techniques. The mind is also calmed by regulating the breath, particularly attending to exhalation and the natural stilling of breath that comes from such practice. Awareness of breath. And these teachings are according to sage Patanjali. One of the finest methods there is to stabilize and calm the mind is breath awareness. That is why, first thing when somebody is having a panic attack, feeling stressed, you give them some water and you ask them to take deep breaths and let go. First, breathe. When we breathe and regulate the breathing, our nervous system calms down. So, first, be aware of the transitions between the breaths and allow them to be smooth without an abrupt transition and without pausing between the breaths. Consciously practice seeing how delicately smooth you can make the transitions. Allow the breath to be quiet and to have no jerkiness. And the second type of breathing that is recommended in this sutra, according to sage Patanjali, is elongation of exhalation. That is why, even according to science, 4 counts in, 6 counts out when you're breathing out. Second, after establishing sound and steady awareness of the breath, allow the exhalation to gradually elongate such that the amount of time spent exhaling is longer than the amount of time inhaling. The root In pranayama, ayama actually means lengthening. Thus, pranayama more specifically means lengthening the life force. And here the sage specifically says not rechaka, not puraka, not kumbhaka, because these are all difficult breathing practices which are not recommended for all. There are other breathing practices that include rechaka, exhalation, puraka, inhalation, and kumbhaka, intentional holding of the breath. These practices are not the intent here in this sutra. So, by practicing this rechaka, puraka, and kumbhaka, you're not arriving at the meditative states. So, we have to remember that. These practices are not the intent here in this sutra, particularly not the practice of breath retention, kumbhaka. Though these may be useful practices at some stage of practice, they are not the subject of this sutra in relationship to stabilizing the mind and making it tranquil. Because our goal is to make the mind tranquil, arriving at that state of stillness. Sutra 35 is Vishayavativa Pravritti Utpanna Manasaha Sthiti Nibandhyani. Meditation on interest with an object. You have to have interest, passionate interest. Meditation on the arising of an intensified interest in association with any object holds the mind in a steady state. So this is generally a general statement. Like that is why golfers, they are able to, their interest is golfing. So they're able to focus on that. And that's why their mind is in that meditative state and they're able to achieve the goal. Same thing happened to um, sage Arjuna from Mahabharata. His interest and skill was archery. He was able to have a focused mind with an intensified interest. And so the results were amazing. But here, what is our goal? We are not trying to achieve mastery in a game or in a skill. We are trying to achieve the mastery of the mind, so that mind which is still can perceive the presence of the divine in its own heart's field. So, example for the heartfulness meditators, meditation on the master's form. Only when the faith is there. And the inner concentration on the process of sensory experiencing done in a way that leads towards higher subtle sense perception. This also leads to stability and tranquility of the mind. Meditation on the means of sensing. That is why Revered Daji always says, in meditation, thinking moves into feeling. And it is with the sensing, not just the physical senses, the inner senses that we are able to feel. So, this practice is on becoming aware of the inner process of sensation, not merely the object, using the five cognitive senses of smelling, tasting, seeing, touching, and hearing. It does not mean pursuing the object that you're experiencing, such as the sound you're hearing or image you're seeing. Rather, it means trying to become aware of sensing itself. Initially, the sensing is at a mere surface or gross level. Ultimately, the intent of the practice is to witness the higher or inner, subtler inner senses. So, as you focus, have a focused awareness with interest on an object that you have developed love for, that leads to this utmost sensitivity where you are witnessing the presence. Simply put, feel the presence of the conscience of the Guru. Sutra 36 says, Vishokava Jyotishmati. Meditation on intensified interest. That is why we have to fix our goal. We have to have a passionate interest for the goal to become. And meditation on the arising of an intensified interest. In a state of devoid of grief that we all should note is when we meditate, we have to meditate happily with joy. And this Babaji Maharaj in his whispers have repeated so many times. Joy attracts grace, perseverance. These are the words that Babaji uses: perseverance, joy, and love. So, meditation on the arising of an intensified interest in a state devoid of grief, joyfully, for joy attracts grace, and having the quality of illumination also holds the mind in a steady state. So, only when you are able to meditate on the divine light with joy, the mind comes to that state of stillness. Concentration on painless inner luminosity. Concentration on a painless inner state of lucidness and luminosity also brings stability and tranquility. Concentration on painless inner luminosity. The easiest way to practice this is to place your attention in the space between the breast, the heart center. Simply imagine that there is a glowing luminosity there, about the size of the palm of your hand. Whether or not you literally see with your inner eye is not important. The practice works either way. And this is from the ancient times where Sage Patanjali is talking. We also have the similar practice where we make the intention: the source of light is present within my heart. The light from the source is illuminating my entire being, and my mind is drawn to that light, and my mind is resting in that light. So maintain an inner attitude that it does not matter what other thoughts, images, or impressions or memories might arise in the mind field. You will hold that stance that they will not disturb or distract you. And so basically, it is ignore your thoughts, let go of the thoughts, take the help of the breathing, come into the heart, rest in the heart, in the presence of that divinity. Stay only with that glowing inner luminosity in the heart with joyful attitude. Sutra 37 talks about Vita Raga Vishayam Vachittam, that is, meditation on silence and stillness. Meditation on that state of mind which remains uncolored or unaffected by any object also brings about a state of quietude to the mind. So the object that we choose it should not have any color. That is why we choose the silence. In the ancient times, they called it Om. So, meditation on silence and stillness. Imagine a mind free from desires. Contemplating on having a mind that is free from desires, the mind gets stabilized and tranquil. That is why in the Heartfulness method, we begin by fixing the goal and accepting that it is the desires that are pulling, and we seek the help of the Guru and his transmission to move us through that state. So imagine a mind free from desire. One way to do this practice is to think of some great sage or yogi or spiritual person you respect. Simply imagine what their mind would be like if they were sitting quietly for meditation. I mean, look at Sage Patanjali giving this beautiful prescription, that think how the state of the mind of that sage is when he is absorbed in that ultimate divinity. Then pretend that your mind is as quiet as you think hers would be. It is a trick of your own mind to imagine this way, but it is an extremely useful practice for stabilizing your own mind. And imagine your own mind free from desire. And another method is to imagine what your own mind would be like if it were temporarily free from any desires, wants, wishes, attractions, aversions, or expectations. It is like a game you're playing with yourself, wherein you see if you can pretend that your mind is in this tranquil state. With a little practice, this works amazingly well. For this, in the heartfulness method, we have beautiful techniques given to us, structured techniques, where we have the absolute mind technique, where we make the intention. My mind is connected to the absolute mind of the living master, who is connected to the ultimate source. My mind is absorbed and identical with the absolute mind. And my mind is leaving its perverse tendencies and absorbing the qualities of the absolute mind. My mind is balanced. And also, along with the absolute mind technique, when we make the intention that I am absorbed in the source and everything around me is also absorbed in the same source, these two techniques connect us to this sutra of Vita Raga Vishayam Vachittam. The next sutra from sage Patanjali, from Samadhipada, Sutra 38 is Swapna Nidra Jnana Alambhanambha. Meditation on experience gained in sleep. Even during sleeping, Revered Daji recommends that think that you have put your head in the lap of your guru or in the lap of the source and go to sleep and observe what's happening to your inner state of being. Because even in the sleep, the meditative state continues and makes your consciousness go deep into that source. Meditation on the experience or knowledge gained in sleep or in a dream also brings about a state of quietude of mind, a contemplative state. By focusing on the nature of the stream in the dream state or the nature of the state of dreamless sleep, the mind becomes stabilized and tranquil. Sometimes, we see the presence of the master, and when we wake up so happy because our heart has recognized the presence. Meditation on the states of the unconscious, focusing on the stream of the dream state or the nature of dreamless sleep will stabilize the mind and make it stable. So, that also will help the mind to come to its meditative state. It is extremely important to note that this is not meaning dreaming or dream analysis. We are not trying to analyze our dreams here. We are only trying to help our mind to come to that meditative state, and we are using all avenues, even the dream state, to learn to allow these streams to flow and to witness that stream is very calming. To witness, that is the key, is witnesshood. To witness that stream is a stabilizing influence, not a deep meditation or samadhi beyond the mind. For this, Revered Babaji has given a beautiful technique for all of us. Revered Babaji says, lie down flat when you are ready to sleep and make the sankalpa. How do we make a sankalpa? We always come to a state of humbleness and thought backed by will that all the chakras, all the lotuses, the chakras that are awakened by my guru are in harmony and in balance. Sutra 39 is Yada Abhimata Dhyanatva. Meditation on a subject. Meditation on a subject in which one is naturally interested also brings about a state of quietude to the mind that is being absorbed in the knowledge. By contemplating or concentrating on whatever object or principle one may like, or towards which one has a predisposition, the mind becomes stable and tranquil. This sutra is making it very clear that the key principle in the stabilizing of the mind and the removal of obstacles is one pointedness. We have to arrive at that state of one pointedness, the stillness, the steadiness. Obviously, saying that one may focus on any object or principle that one feels predisposed towards is a broad statement. Wisdom should guide the choice of object for concentration. So, here we have to be very clear about our goal. What is our goal? So, you focus on your goal. We already know this. Virtually everybody already knows this principle of focusing on something enjoyable as a means of stabilizing the mind. However, the relative usefulness of the object chosen is a very different matter. Watching TV, playing a game, listening to music, having a conversation, or many other activities may concentrate the mind enough to partially let go of the mental chatter from the activities of the day. But they will not bring you to that state of stillness and the silence. That is why concentration is not our goal, meditation is our goal. While the principle of one pointedness is in all of these and may have some benefit, the meditator will learn to choose more refined objects to stabilize the mind for meditation. Remember, in this section and sutra, we are talking about stabilizing and clearing the mind, not about deep meditation itself. And this level of one pointedness provides the stable foundation for the subtler meditation practices. So, passionate interest is the key, says Sutra 39. And this is what Revered Daji has also said and explained to us many times. Until and unless we have this passionate longing and interest for the goal, nothing is achieved. Passionate interest is essential because without it, there can be no real basis for serious exploration into existential nature of man's relationship with man and the objective world. So Sutra 39 states, man who cannot bring himself to take a passionate interest in the real object is less than human. So that is a brief gist of some thoughts from the sage Patanjali. So let us now all meditate. Close your eyes softly. Take a deep breath and let go. Feel grounded to the earth. Feel the healing energy from Mother Earth enter into your being. And begin with relaxing your toes. Feel the energy flow into your feet, ankles, and your legs. Be aware of your legs. Relax your legs. Take another deep breath and let go. Feel the energy flow into your knees, into your thighs, into your hips. Feel firmly grounded in the seat. Feel the free flow of energy flowing there, relaxing you. Take another deep breath and let go. Feel the energy flow into your lower back and into your upper back. Relax your entire back. Keeping your spine erect, bring your awareness to your stomach muscles. Feel the energy flow there. Take a deep breath and let go gently. Feel the energy flow into your chest. Relax your chest. Bring your awareness to your fingers. Feeling the energy, relax your fingers, palm, wrists, lower arms, elbows, and upper arms. Feel the free flow of energy flowing in your hands, relaxing your hands. Take another deep breath and let go. Your hands are completely relaxed. Bring your awareness to your shoulders. Feel the stress melting away. Relax your shoulders. Consciously relax your neck, jaws, facial muscles. Deeply relax your eyes, eyebrows, temples, and forehead. Feel your brain is resting. Your mind is calm. Your body is completely relaxed. Bring your awareness to your heart. Feel your heart. Enter your sacred space. Bring yourself to a state of humbleness in prayer, where the heart beats. Remind yourself with the intention. The source of light is present within you. The light from the source is illuminating your entire being. Your mind is drawn to this light. Your mind is resting in the light. The ocean of light, the ocean of love is in you. You are a drop submerged in this ocean. Rest in the light with utmost reverence. Let's meditate. That's all. Feel the calmness spread throughout your being. From this place of calmness, make the intention. All my senses are in a state of balance. They have arrived at their original character. All my feelings are in silence. Every cell in my being is imbued with the feeling of love, joy, and gratitude. Every cell in my being is absorbing the silence. Feel the calmness spread throughout your being. You may open your eyes when you are ready. Thank you all for joining us on this community channel today. Have a beautiful day, and we will continue our learning as far as possible, as much as possible, by the grace of our elders from our Heartfulness Institute, our dear guides, beloved Daji. Thank you all for joining us today. Have a beautiful day.